وتمسك بالثقلين إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, in Surah Al-Baqarah, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: وإذ ابتلى إبراهيم ربه بكلمات فأتمهن قال إني جاعلك للناس إماما قال ومن ذريتي قال لا ينال عهد الظالمين. وإذ جعلنا البيت مثابة للناس وأمنا واتخذوا من مقام إبراهيم مصلى وعهدنا إلى إبراهيم وإسماعيل أن طهرا بيتي للطائفين والعاكفين والركع السجود. وإذ قال إبراهيم رب اجعل هذا بلدا آمنا وارزق أهله من الثمرات من آمن منهم بالله واليوم الآخر. The meanings of the ayahs roughly: وإذ ابتلى comes from ابتلاء comes from having hardships. وإذ ابتلى إبراهيم ربه, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Ibrahim alayhi salam basically lots of tests. This is the meaning of the ayah. بكلمات, امتحان, tests. فأتمهن, he passed them. Ibrahim passed all the tests. قال إني جاعلك للناس إماما. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, which means, O Ibrahim, I am appointing you as a leader for humanity. إني جاعلك للناس إماما. Imam means the leader. للناس, humans, people. Ibrahim alayhi salam says, وَمِن ذُرِّيَّتِي, and from my offspring. Also, he wants them to be prophets. What do you mean a leader? Meaning prophet. إني جاعلك للناس إماما, هو كنبي. Sayyidina Ibrahim says, my offspring. He says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and look at this ayah here, it's very important, decides who can be a prophet and who can be an imam and who can be a leader. Because a prophet is what? Is a governor, a leader, everything, an imam. قَالَ لَا يَنَالُ عَهْدِ الظَّالِمِينَ. So a condition, he said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made, after Ibrahim said, وَمِن ذُرِّيَّتِي, from my offspring, O Allah, he said, those who commit dhulm cannot be prophets, leaders or imams. And then the ayahs go on to say, وَإِذْ جَعَلْنَا الْبَيْتَ مَثَابَةً لِلنَّاسِ وَأَمْنًا. Al-Bayt, where in Mecca, Al-Bayt al-Haram. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, after the imam, now the imam has been appointed, the khalifa has been appointed, the khalifa of Rasulullah, of Allah meaning here, which is the prophet of Rasulullah, of Allah, which is Ibrahim alayhi salam. He's been appointed as a prophet. Now, after that, وَإِذْ جَعَلْنَا الْبَيْتَ مَثَابَةً لِلنَّاسِ وَأَمْنًا. Number one, there has to be a prophet, there has to be a leader for people, imam, leader. Number two, that leader cannot be unjust, cannot be zalim, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the condition is, لَا يَنَالُ عَهْدِ الظَّالِمِينَ. Now, after that, now you have a prophet, who of course is not zalim, is not unjust. وَإِذْ جَعَلْنَا الْبَيْتَ مَثَابَةً لِلنَّاسِ وَأَمْنًا. What do people want after that? They have a very good prophet of Allah, and he deals in justice with them. But what do they want? Peace. Amna. Amen? Peace. Right, all the time. Peace, tranquility, prosperity. After you have these two things, now what do you have? وَإِذْ جَعَلْنَا الْبَيْتَ مَثَابَةً لِلنَّاسِ وَأَمْنًا. And what else? Now for those after Ibrahim, وَاتَّخِذُوا مِن مَقَامِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ مُصَلَّى. To honor Ibrahim, what the ayah means basically, the steps, the place where Ibrahim stepped to build this house, the Kaaba of Allah, take this place and start praying in this place. Why is that? Do we worship Ibrahim? No. Do we worship the Kaaba? No. But to honor Ibrahim alayhi salam, to honor the efforts he did and the sunnah he established, take the place where Ibrahim has prayed as a sunnah, as a place of prayer. اتخذ من مقام إبراهيم مصلى وعهدنا إلى إبراهيم وإسماعيل أن طهرا بيتي للطائفين والعاكفين والركع السجود. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling Ibrahim and Ismail, take this house, take this village, take this country, take this place, the where you're living in, and change it and purify it and make it a place for those who pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and those who do good things, basically. What else? Now you have a prophet who deals with justice. And what else the ayah says? Also, amen. You have peace and prosperity. And you have justice and freedom. Civil rights. That's all guaranteed in the Quran. Now, is that enough? Is that enough for society? No, not enough. Because people have to eat. They cannot eat freedom. They cannot eat civil rights. They have to eat. وَإِذْ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ رَبِّي اجْعَلْ هَذَا الْبَيْتَ آمِنًا وَرُزُقْ أَهْلَهُ. Rizq. Comes rizq. You see how rizq comes? وَرْزُقْ أَهْلَهُ مِنَ الثَّمَرَاتِ means so Allah give him from the fruits and give him rizq. This is the rough meaning of the ayah. And then at the end of the ayah says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قَالَ وَمَنْ كَفَرَ. And who denies these rules, the set, now we went through the set of rules of laws that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explained to us. Who denies these rules, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَأُمَتِّعُهُ قَلِيلًا. I will let him have a little enjoyment. A little enjoyment. ثُمَّ أَضْطَرُهُ إِلَى عَذَابِ النَّارِ وَبِئْسَ الْمَصِيرُ. Then I take him to the torture and punishment. Now keep the ayah in mind. We will come back to the ayah, inshallah, at the end. I don't want you to forget the meanings of the ayah. Humans, and all of us, when we look at things in the world that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created, we have to use two things. We use the brain and we use the senses. I said that before. Remember that. Always. The brain and aql. Aql in Arabic means brain. Dimagh. Right? Dimagh kharabe, that means no aql. Al-aql in Arabic means what? Al-aql comes from the word aqala. Aqala means what? Tied up. If you take a rope and you tie it up, that means you made aql. Remember that one? The incident where some man came to the Prophet ﷺ and he left his camel. He left his camel outside of the masjid and he said, "Tawakkaltu ala Allah." Oh, I depend on Allah. And then he prayed and he came back and of course the camel already had gone his own way. So he went back to the Prophet. He said, "Oh Prophet of Allah, I said I depend on Allah and still the camel went." What do you expect? He said, what did he tell him? "I'qilha wa tawakkal." Right? Tie it up and then say tawakkaltu ala Allah. But not just leave it like that and say, somebody jumps from a 50th floor says tawakkaltu ala Allah. La ilaha illallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creator. And the faith, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's our faith. But He gave you reasons. Then otherwise He wouldn't have created these reasons. He created these reasons for you. Subhanallah. So aql comes from these things. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created three types of creations. I don't want to dwell too much on this, but let me give you, sometimes I'll have to give you a little bit more introduction so we can get into the topic of the ayahs. But time is always short. So, but it's okay to go a little bit later, you can continue that the next time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created three creations. In one creation, He put only aql. Only aql means what? Only brain. Who are those creations? Al-malaika. لا يعصون الله ما أمرهم ويفعلون ما يؤمرون. جماعة لا يعصون الله. All they do is with their brain that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them, direction, no desires, no shahawat. ما في غرائز. The animalistic desires, they don't have. And then He created another creation, animals. Didn't give them aql. Aql niyat. Dimagh niyat. There's no dimagh. Empty. Why? Because what governs the animals is what? Al-gharaiz. Desires. Animal is governed by desires. And Allah created human beings and He gave them both. He gave him dimag and he gave him desires. Now whoever has his desires overcome his dimag, he becomes like animals, or even worse. And whoever's dimag overcomes his desires becomes like angels, and better than angels. Some of the prophets are better than the angels. You see, even though they were given the choice. Very important. So this aql, this dimag that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us is a big ni'mah, is a big endowment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'll tell you this event. One time, a man had 2 donkeys. A farmer had 2 donkeys. And one of the donkeys both of them were tied. One of them somehow got away from his rope and went to the farm and starts stampeding over the tomatoes and all these things that the farmer had. So the farmer took a stick and he went to beat the one that's tight, not the one that's loose. Beat him up. He's beating the donkey that's tight. People told him, if you want to punish somebody, you should punish the one that is loose. He said, because he wouldn't know what he would have done if he was loose. So he's doing some preventive measures. Aql. If there's no dimag, one becomes like animals. You can't, unpredictable. What are you going to do tomorrow? We don't know. How do you live? You don't know. Things don't make any sense to you anymore. Now, so we see things through these senses. We see them through our dimag and through our senses. What are the senses? You have touch. This is a sense Allah gave you. You have the smell. You have the vision. You have the hearing. Right? All these senses, the 5 senses, you all know them. These senses are there to govern what? What do you see with the senses? You see things that are materialistic. You touch this, I feel it, it's there. You see people, you say, I see them. Very good. Now, with the dimag, what do you see? You see the what? Not the materialistic world, but you see the things that materialism doesn't really govern. Things like, let's say, ar-ruhaniyat, spiritual things. The truth, facts, you see them with your brain, you don't see them with your senses. Al-Quran al-Kareem always connected, that's where I'm going to bring you now, to connected the senses with the truth. They have to be connected so the whole picture can be complete. I'll give you an example. You take your hand and you put it on someone's forehead. And you see if he has temperature or not. Right? You govern that with your senses. Now, can you also put your hand on his heart, right here, and feel how much his iman is? What's the percentage of his iman? You can. But who governs that? Aql, dimag, not the senses. The senses can't see that. You put somebody and you weigh them on the scale. How much you weigh? MashaAllah, 180 pounds. Very good, lose some weight. But can you put his iman on the scale and see how many pounds he has of iman? How many pounds he has of sincerity? Can anyone tell us how many pounds he has of knowledge? How many liters he has of ikhlas to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How pure is his niyyah? How many kilos is the niyyah? We can't. Now, Al-Quran Al-Kareem, what it did to us, so it connects the whole meaning to us, it connected the what? The cases that are intellectual, that you cannot, that are not materialistic, with things that are materialistic so you can understand the full picture. Connection there. Connect something that you can measure with something that you cannot figuratively measure. I'll give you an example. A word and a tree. Word, you say, and a tree. Kalima wa shajara are two things. Huh? A word is something, and a tree is something else. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala connects both. And He said from Quran, first of all, the word is something that you cannot measure or touch. Can you measure the word or touch it? Say, feel it, how hot is the word, what the temperature of the word is. Can you feel it? Can you see the word? No. But the tree, you can go and touch a tree, right? There's a tree outside, go and see the tree. Look how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala connected both things. أَلَمْ تَرَى كيف ضرب الله مثلا كلمة طيبة كشجرة طيبة. A good word, Allah has given you examples. In the Quran, what the ayah means, haven't you seen to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the example that Allah gave? A good word like a good tree. What do you mean? What word is something and tree is something else? What is that? What does that have to do with this? A word is what? Is food for the intellect, for the soul, for the brain. And a tree eventually is what? With the fruits, it's food for the body. The word grows and the tree grows. They both grow. Just like the tree grows and feeds you, the word grows and feeds you. Just like the tree can be rotten, the word can be rotten. Just like the tree can be spoiled, then the word also that you say may be spoiled. More than that. Make it a little bit more clear. الله نور السماوات والأرض مثل نوره كمشكاة فيها مصباح المصباح في زجاجة الزجاجة كأنها كوكب دري. All these things. The meaning of the ayah, Surah Nur, everybody knows it. Allah is the Nur. I didn't say the light. No? Be careful. Many people say Allah is the light. Who created the light? وخلق الظلمات والنور هو خالق النور. He is the one who created the Nur, not light. And Nur here meaning, when we say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, An-Nur means the guide, the one who gives you the guidance. That's what it means. It doesn't mean a light. Allah is not the light, because Allah created the light. Subhanallah, هو خلق الظلمات والنور أفمن يخلق كمن لا يخلق. Is the one who creates like the one who's created? What's the difference then between the created and the creation? Huh? Allah nur as-samawati wal ard. This is a tawheed issue. We don't want to go in there, inshallah, some other time. Allah nur as-samawati wal ard مثل نوره كمشكاة فيها مصباح المصباح في زجاجة. Allah has given you example of His nur. Telling you the nur of Allah, which is the hidayah, is like what? Like a mishkan misbah. This little candle, the old ones that you have. المصباح في زجاجة الزجاجة كأنها كوكب دري. The zujaja, this little glass lamp, like a lamp, and that lamp does what? Gives light to things. You put the lamp, and with the light of the lamp, you see things. You see the truth. You see what you have. And the same thing, with the guidance of Allah, that's the meaning of Allahu Nur. Nur as-samawati wal ard, that means the guide of those people and those creation who live in heaven and those who live on earth. Who lives in heaven? Who lives in angels? Angels. And heaven is just like earth now. The earth is overpopulated with people. Well, heaven is populated with angels. If you want to send a letter to angels, you say, angel such and such, heaven. That's مساكن الأنبياء الملائكة السماوات. And don't they need guidance? Of course. Of course. And don't we need guidance? Of course. Therefore Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with His hidayah, He gives guidance to those who are in the heavens and those who are on earth. That's the meaning. And see comparison? Comparing with something that you can't, that's inconceivable to you. Allahu Nur, with something that's conceivable to you, which is their lamp, the glass lamp and the light. That's conceivable. So you can see, because you can measure this, but you cannot measure the other one. You cannot see the other one. Just like you can measure the tree, where the tree grows, but you cannot measure the magnitude of the word, materialistically speaking. Very important. Who is the Nur? Then, An-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is an-nur. لَقَدْ جَاءَكُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ نُورٌ وَكِتَابٌ مُبِينٌ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent you nur, light of guidance. Who is that? And also a book. Nurun wa kitabun mubin. The scholar says the nur here is the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Another nur. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is nur. And it's like the sun, and those people who can't see the sun, they're not really excused. ما ضر الشمس الضحى في الأفق طالعة أن لا يرى نورها أعمى بلا بصر. The sun is like this shining, but the blind man can't see it. Where is the sun? The sun is right up there. Dear brothers and sisters, the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the guide to humanity. Believe me, everybody. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is not just for Muslims. Many people think the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is just for Muslims. The Prophet is not just for Muslims. It's not just for you. Don't be selfish. The Prophet ﷺ is for you and for everybody else. It's a mercy to not only mankind. Mankind is actually erroneous translation. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. Al-Alamin does not mean mankind. Al-Alamin جمع عوالم. جمع عوالم means a world of worlds. Everything in the worlds, not only mankind. No, mankind and animals and things that non-living organisms, living organisms, everything that live and doesn't live, everything that is created, the Prophet ﷺ is a mercy to them. Don't be selfish. Not only, don't you think only that you are the people, or Muslims only are the people that need Muhammad ﷺ. No. Everybody in this world, everybody needs the Prophet ﷺ. Even those who don't know him, they need him. Even those who don't know, not only that, not only you love the Prophet ﷺ. No, even those who don't know him, they love him ﷺ. Believe me. Those who don't know him, they still love him ﷺ. Now you say, how come? The Prophet ﷺ, what did he bring? What did he bring with him? He brought Iman. Believe. What else he brought? Justice and equality. All these things. What do people in the world need? They look for freedom. They look for Iman. They look for justice. They look for equality. Everybody, actually, the end result of what peoples and what nations struggle is the beginning of what the Prophet ﷺ brought. The end result of the struggle of people is what the Prophet ﷺ began to give people. Iman, just Freiheit, said Freiheit in German. Freedom, and peace. All these things the Prophet ﷺ brought. That's why even those who don't know him, you go into any other country, in any other nation, and anywhere, even here, and you say, here, I come with this. Don't say the name of the Prophet. Some people are misguided still about that. But tell them, I come, I bring Iman, I bring freedom for everybody, I bring social justice, I bring equality to you, I bring civil rights, and look how everybody's going to surround you. Everybody wants to follow you. That's the message of Muhammad ﷺ. The problem, dear brothers, is not Muhammad ﷺ, and the problem is not Islam. The problem is those who represent Islam, like myself. That's the problem. That's the problem. We have our names, big names like that, and we have the looks, and we have all these things. But do we really have what the Prophet ﷺ came with? That's the point. That's the point. Many people, they become 20, 30, 25, 35 years old, and they still can't recite the Fatiha correctly. The Fatiha. 7 ayahs only. They still can't recite it. Big mustache, big beard. Amama, some people even. Not even the Fatiha. Where is the love for the Prophet? Sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. The love for the Prophet is not about words, dear brothers and sisters. It's not about talk, and it's not about looks, and it's not about big bodies, it's not about small bodies, it's not about businesses, it's not about power, it's not about money, it's not about position. It's about following Him. قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهُ. This is the point. If you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, say, if you really love Allah, then follow the Prophet, and follow me, then Allah would love you. If you're true, if you have a claim, and that claim is true, But if you're all talk, no action, then what's the difference between what some Muslims do and what other nations did before? We didn't go anywhere. That's the difference. So talk is cheap. But act is what counts. Let's go back to the ayah. Ibrahim alayhi salam. That's the ayah we started with. وَإِذِ ابْتَلَى إِبْرَاهِيمَ رَبُّهُ بِكَلِمَاتٍ فَأَتَمَّهُ. It's unbelievable how some people go and pay for their sons. You see, he puts his son, I have to go back to this because it really irritates me. He puts his son, I'm going to send him to Northwestern University, or I'm going to send him to Johns Hopkins, or I'm going to send him to Emory, or I'm going to send him to Mercer, or I'm going to give him a French tutor. How about maybe a Quranic tutor? How about we try that? How about instead of spending 15 hours a day watching TV, maybe we can spend 5 minutes a day learning 5 ayahs of the Quran, you and your family. How about success for the family? It's very tangible, but we just have to start touching these things. Talk is very cheap and everybody can talk. And everyone, like I said the other time, in engineering, if you want to be an engineer, you have to attend engineering school. But when it comes to Islam, subhanAllah, everybody immediately gives himself the authority not only to make opinions, to make judgments. Beyond opinions. Make judgments. You are affected by this. Do you know how to recite the Fatiha correctly? Do we know the differences between the sunan of wudu and the fara'id of wudu and the invalidators of wudu, nawaqid wudu? Do we know them? Basic 101? There's a problem. Let's go back to Ibrahim alayhi salam. But we love to talk about stories. We keep going back, right? Because the situation in the Muslim Ummah is sad. Because people love to talk about fairy tales. And you would like me to take you and put you back 1400 years ago and relive the victorious times and the enjoyable times. But it's time to wake up and see reality. It's enough going back to fairy tales that are either supported or not even have any support, because with fairy tales we're very creative. But it's time to go back to substance now. There's a difference, dear brothers and sisters, between substance and suspicion, between fact and fiction. And we can decide, you can decide, or people can decide to live in fiction for as long as they want. But one day, and I guarantee that for me and for everybody, we will wake up when death comes, and that is too late then. Maybe we should go back to facts. Maybe you should start teaching yourself Islam and Quran. Maybe you should take that time and start teaching your son that you're responsible for, and your daughter that you're responsible, and your wife that you're responsible for. Maybe take that time instead of cooking a meal for them. Maybe say, I'm going to cook you a spiritual meal now. Let's sit here and recite the Fatiha for 5 minutes. Think about this. We have to take initiative. And initiative comes from me and you. It's very easy to blame the rulers. It's very easy to blame the Muslim countries. It's very easy to blame the Muslim governments. And we're going to do that anyway. We're going to do that anyway. Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim, who is Ibrahim? Really, the biography of Ibrahim takes lots and lots of time. Please come forward, barakallahu fikum, so people can sit in the back. Come forward as much as you can. تقدموا بارك الله فيكم. تفسحوا يفسح الله لكم. Ibrahim alayhi salam was the hero of Tawheed. بطل التوحيد في القرآن. Anytime you hear about Ibrahim and you hear about Tawheed, remember that Ibrahim is the hero of Tawheed, the star of Tawheed. Huh? And Ibrahim was given so many tests and has gone through so many things. As you all know, they tried to kill him first after he destroyed one of the idols, and then they tried to put him in the fire. We talked about that the other time, right? We don't have time right now to cover all these things. He was put through so many things, through so many tests, Ibrahim alayhi salam. Abu al-Anbiya, the father of the prophets. وَإِذْ ابْتَلَى إِبْرَاهِيمَ رَبُّهُ بِكَلِمَاتٍ فَأَتَمَّهُنَّ. Ibrahim, this is one of the worst. In the tafsir of the ayah, and some mufassirin, some scholars, they said this was one of the hardest tests. Throwing in the fire, after they burned the fire for 6 months, and put it like that. When they threw Ibrahim alayhi salam in the fire, as on the way going, after takeoff, before landing, Ibrahim alayhi salam was smiling. Jibreel came to him and said, Ya Ibrahim, anything that you want to say? Do you have any last wish? Huh? Before, they give people before they die last wish. What last meal? What do you want? Should I tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala anything on your behalf? What was the answer of Ibrahim? He said his knowledge in my case suffices me from asking him for anything. He knows. Why should I ask him? I'm not going to tell you anything. He knows. No? Because deep iman is saying that if I'm going to go, I'm going to go. Period. But that was not the biggest test yet. Here it is. فَلَمَّا بَلَغَ مَعَهُ السَّعْيِ. The ayah of the Quran says, فَلَمَّا بَلَغَ مَعَهُ السَّعْيِ, when Ibrahim and Ismail became a little bit a youngster. You know how if you have a son, may Allah protect you and your sons and your daughters and your families, inshallah. If you have a son or you have a daughter, if you have a son, how hard do you work to make him grow and to follow the right way? And how much effort you put? Huh? Your own blood, you would probably take a bullet for him. You put anything for him. You do anything to make him successful. To avoid the pitfalls that you fell into, you would try to do anything for him. Obvious. فَلَمَّا بَلَغَ مَعْهُ السَّعْيِ. The Quran mentions, which means when Ismail now became to be in that age of being with his father. When do people become with their father, going with their father and coming with their father? When they grow up a little bit, they start understanding. That's when you see your son right in front of you growing. And you say, Allah, you see your extension. It's really out of selfishness. If you ask philosophers or psychiatrists, they say it's out of selfishness. But let's not talk about psychiatrists here. We're talking about the words of Allah. So, this is what they do. This is what the ayah says. فَلَمَّا بَلَغَ مَعَهُ السَّعْيِ. Now he started going with him. قَالَ يَا بُنَيَّ. Now, after he sees the fruit of all his efforts throughout all these years, what does Ibrahim alayhi salam tell Ismail? يَا بُنَيَّ إِنِّي أَرَى فِي الْمَنَامِ أَنِّي أَذْبَحُكَ. Oh son, I was given a ru'ya that I am slaughtering you like a sheep. Ibrahim, put yourself into Ibrahim alayhi salam's shoes. Test. فانظر ماذا ترى. Tell me what you think. What should we do? This was not to ask him what should we do, per se. It was because he was the father that was so merciful on his son that he put his blood and his soul and his heart and his life in him to grow him up. He didn't want to tell him, I have to abide by Allah's rules and kill you. But he's given him like this to see how the relationship also between the father and the son should be. And between the father and the daughter, and between the father and the wife. Rahmah. Mu naqmah. But al-zalim, he who is unjust, he cannot have rahmah. Even if he wants to have rahmah, he cannot have rahmah. Why? He doesn't know what rahmah is. Maybe he thinks rahmah has taken him to the movies, while rahmah is really to recite the Quran. Maybe he thinks rahmah has taken him on a trip. Maybe rahmah is to teach him how to pray. Very important. Very important. We're here to correct ourselves, dear brothers and sisters. Now, let's move on. This is a long story. فَانْظُرْ مَاذَا تَرَى. Ismail, what does he say? He's the son of a prophet. Prophet and a son of a prophet. قَالَ يَا أَبَتِ فَعَلْ مَا تُؤْمَرُ. Oh, father, do what you have been ordered to do. فَلَمَّا أَسْلَمَا وَتَلَّهُ لِلْجَبِينِ. فَلَمَّا أَسْلَمَا means what? When they became Muslims? No. When they submitted to Allah, both of them, they submitted to Allah's will. وَتَلَّهُ لِلْجَبِينِ means what? He put his, subhanAllah, Ismail alayhi salam, he said, oh father, he said, I know you cannot see me, you cannot see killing me. So put my face on the sand so you don't see my face when you kill me, and cut me from behind. Look at this test. Is there any bigger test than that? فَلَمَّا أَسْلَمَ وَتَلَّهُ الْجَبِينِ قُلْنَا يَا إِبْرَاهِيمُ قَدْ صَدَّقْتَ الرُّؤْيَا. Oh Ibrahim, That's it. He, Ibrahim, is trying to cut. But does the knife cut? Who orders the knife to cut or not to cut? Can the knife cut by itself? Wallahi, if you take a knife and you try to cut as much as you want, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will is not to have it cut, it will not cut. Because the knife does not cut because of its own property. It does not, the knife does not have a characteristic of cutting because it is a knife. The knife has a characteristic and a property of cutting because Allah willed for that knife to cut. And if Allah willed for the tree to cut, then the tree would cut instead. What's the difference? All creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Huh? What, didn't the Malaika in Badr come? And all they did is mention like this. Did they have to fight? They don't have to fight. Mention like this. Yeah. Submit to the one who causes the causes. Submit to the one who causes the causes, not to the causes. Causes come and go. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا كما امر واشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له ارغاما لمن جحد به وكفر واشهد ان سيدنا مولانا محمدا صلى الله عليه واله خاتم الانبياء المحتبى صلى اللهم وسلم وبارك على هذا النبي وعلى اله اهل الفقه والاثر والعلم والنظر وعلى من باثارهم وسنتهم اقتفى واكتفى. طيب, let's go back to Ismail real quick. Submission. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what does he tell him after he submitted? This is not meant, it was not meant to be anyway, but it was a test. Now, Ya Ibrahim, you have passed the test. وَإِذِ ابْتَلَى إِبْرَاهِيمَ رَبُّهُ بِكَلِمَاتٍ فَأَتَمَّهُنَّ قَالَ إِنِّي جَاعِلُكَ لِلنَّاسِ إِمَامًا. Now you are a prophet, and you are a leader, and you are a Khalifa of Allah on earth. O Ibrahim. قَالَ وَمِنْ ذُرِّيَّتِي, from my offspring. He said, condition, لَا يَنَالُ أَحْدِ الظَّالِمِينَ. Those who commit injustice, and those who commit dhulm, they cannot be rulers. They cannot govern. A governor and a zalim? No way. Why? Because a governor and a prophet and an imam and a khalifa is supposed to take the dhulm away. Is supposed to what? To eliminate the injustice. Is supposed to eliminate the torture. Is supposed to eliminate all these bad things, and is supposed to give good things. If he was zalim himself, then he couldn't do that. Correct? 1 + 1 = 2. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he put Adam alayhi salam in Jannah, what did he tell Adam? He says, إِنَّ لَكَ أَلَّا تَجُوعَ فِيهَا وَلَا تَعْرَى وَأَنَّكَ لَا تَظْمَأُ فِيهَا وَلَا تَضْحَى. 4 things. They are in the Quran. I'll wrap it up very quickly, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells Adam, oh Adam, you are living in Jannah. You have 4 things. What else do you want? Number 1, إِنَّ لَكَ فِيهَا لَا تَجُوعَ فِيهَا وَلَا تَعْرَى. Number 1, you will not be hungry. And you will not be naked. You always have clothes. What else do we want? We want to eat, we want to have new clothes all the time. In Jannah. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling Adam. Number 2, number 3, وَأَنَّ لَكَ أَنْ لَا تَظْمَأَ فِيهَا وَلَا تَضْحَى. And you will not be thirsty in Jannah. And also لَا تَضْحَى, that means you have a place where you are not hit by the sun in the morning. Basically a comfortable place. You have a place to live and a peaceful place to live, comfortable place to live. These are the 4 things. Right? Some scholars said these 4 things are a measurement for a government or for rulers. Look at their Muslim countries right now. Take these 4 things and look at this. That you're not supposed to, you don't you don't become hungry. And you don't need clothes, you're clothed. And number 3, that you're not thirsty. And number 4, that you have a peaceful place of living. Scholar says if these 4 conditions are fulfilled in any country, then this governor of that country and this Khalifa of that country and this Imam of that country is a just ruler. I'm coming now to you. Remember when we started with, I said, you compare the tangibles with the intangibles. You compare what you can measure, and they're indicative of things that you cannot measure. Now you can compare the freedom. You can compare that people can eat. You can compare that people can drink. You can compare that people have their civil rights. And you can compare that people have what? Also they have a peaceful place to live You can see these things, and now that tells you if that ruler of that Muslim country or any other country per se is just or not. That's all it takes. Quran makes it very easy for you. You have a formula. Vice versa. Now, if you see a place that people are hungry, people are thirsty, people don't have clothes to put on themselves, huh? And people don't have a peaceful place to live. Look at Muslim countries nowadays. Some Muslim countries have all four of them. Many Muslim countries, people can't eat, don't have anything to eat. People don't have anything to drink, no water. Some people don't have any clothes to put on. And many people don't have a peaceful and a comfortable place to live. What does it tell you? That government is bad. And look at the Muslim countries and see how they all suffer from these things, or at least one of them. If they can eat and drink and they have clothes, then they have no peaceful comfort. There's no peaceful place. They're threatened somehow that dictators are going to come and kill them. Dear brothers and sisters, our success, our true success, is going back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These four things are not only, and that justice is not only for the leaders and the governors of Muslim worlds. This is for every single one of us. Correction starts from me and you, and corruption starts from me and you. When you correct yourself and your family, it starts from you. When you tell your wife and you tell your daughter and you tell your son, well, go watch TV, and you know that your son doesn't know the Fatiha, you are committing a sin, and you are making him commit a sin. And not only that, you are creating a sunnah for all those after him to follow your example. You're responsible for that. Corruption starts here and correction starts here. We need to repent back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We need to go back to basics. We don't go back to basics, there is no way of winning anything. You lose the battle with yourself, you lose the battle with everybody. And if we lose the battle with ourselves, don't expect to win with anything. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad, kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ali Ibrahim, wa barik ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad, kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ali Ibrahim, fil alameen innaka hamidun majid. Allahumma ansur al-Islam wal muslimin, wa a'li ya mawlana kalimat al-haqq wad din. Allahumma man arada bil-Islam wal muslimin khayran fawafiqhu ilayh, wa man arada bihim ghayra dhalika faj'al da'irat عليه. اللهم رد المسلمين لدينك ردا جميلا. اللهم رد المسلمين لدينك ردا جميلا. اللهم رد المسلمين لدينك ردا جميلا. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. يا مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. عليهم فدمرهم ربنا تدميرا وتدبرهم تدبيرا واجعلهم هباء منثورا. اللهم اغفر لنا ولآبائنا ولمشايخنا ولمن له حق علينا ولمن أوصانا بالدعاء. وصلى الله وسلم على محمد وآله وصحبه الصلاة.